So you guys, this weekend we went to Sean and Michelle's book signing, and it was hosted by Kimberlyn Brown, who's also one of the stars of The Bold and Beautiful. She'll be coming on our show. We also have Patrika Darbo coming on the show soon. So we got a bunch of great people coming on, and I think that they're here. So I think we're ready to go. You ready to go? I'm ready to see my Sean and Michelle. You bet your buns are ready. All right, let's bring them on and see if they're there, and we can hear them.
There we go. There we go.
Wait, why
Yay!
Who else we brought?
Oh, that's so cute. We actually put ours out in the hallway because she's barking.
Yeah. Well, ours barks if we don't include her in every interview.
Yeah.
There you go.
It's in her contract.
Aren't they beautiful? Look at those two. They're so beautiful.
Wait, do you see this up here?
Yeah, I love it. It's beautiful.
What?
The painting. So who made the painting? Let's give props.
Yeah, it's a terrific artist named Gus Vasquez. Not sure.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fine. You have to listen.
Do you need me to speak up?
I can. Yeah, speak
louder.
up.
Theater voices, kids.
Let him hear you in the cheap seats.
Yes.
The back of the house has to hear you.
All right, so you guys, let's do an introduction. Now we want to welcome to the Jimmy Star Show with Von Russell, Sean Sensei, and Michele Queen Cobra Kanan. Hello and welcome to the show! Yay!
Hi guys.
Guys.
It's good to
I
meet
went
you both.
all over your Cobra. I waved the Cobra.com website. I looked at everything yesterday,
and I read it.
And Ron read the book.
I fast read it because I'm in we're going to Florida. We're flying. I have a bunch of books I'll read on board the plane. If the book is boring, I'll put it down in my suitcase. If the book is good, I'll continue to read it.
And your
book I love only because
thanks, Ron.
There's controversy there. I have a couple of things that I don't agree with that we have to discuss.
Good, we'd love to hear them.
Now, if I could remember them, we could do it. But
so hang on, we have a chat. We have a chat room full of people. Say hi to everybody in the chat room.
Hey guys, how are you?
And then also say hi to Cindy, Sean, because Cindy always comes on our Christmas show. She loves you, so say hi to Cindy.
Cindy.
And the one thing you did not mention, I don't believe, is how many years you're married.
Yeah.
Did you mention that in the book?
Yeah, we did.
Where?
Don't worry about where.
I don't know page, Ron, but I mean, we've been married 14 years. 13, 14.
13.
13.
Yeah. We've been together for 15.
15. Yeah.
And I want to tell our audience, their book's not bullshit because I know them personally, and they are what they are in their book. They didn't make that shit up just to sell a book.
That's
love it.
It's true.
So here's what I want to do real quick. Okay, so first of all, you guys, to find out, because this is Sean and Michelle, this is Sean's third.
Wait, can I just say something?
No.
Wait, before you go into the pitch, they're going to be on for a while.
I know.
I want the audience to know the real Michelle and the real Sean. You know Sean from The Bold and the Beautiful, from television, from the Cobra thing where he beats people up. All right, we know about Sean. Gorgeous, handsome, sexy. All the women want to ball him. Gay men too. So we know all about him. But now Michelle, sweet little thing. She sits there like the Virgin Queen. Ooh. She bats her eyelashes and smiles. This bitch is a director, an Emmy winner.
A producer.
She knows a producer. Yeah. She knows everything about the business. And behind every great man, there is a woman, and this is the woman behind this man. Trust me, there's nothing Michelle cannot do. We went to dinner with Michelle, Jimmy, and I to discuss a current thing that we're working on together. I sat there with my mouth open. I couldn't even eat. She was like a dictionary of everything I've ever known. An encyclopedia of everything I've ever known in my life in the theater. I'm in the business 64 years. I know a lot of shit. But she just kept, she's like a lawyer. Michelle, you are amazing.
No, you are. You actually know.
Now, let's talk about The Body of Death with a set of drugs that any man would kill for. And she's beautiful. And guess what? She cooks.
She does.
Where do you find a woman like this?
And not only is she the backbone to Sean, she has her own career, and she's got children, phenomenal children.
She's got like thousands, right? She has thousands of daughters. And she loves her little pooch, her little dog.
Which they have with them.
Like we love our little baby.
All right, so before we go to Way of the Cobra.
I didn't finish.
No,
Now I had the pleasure.
Keep going, keep going. I love this.
Wait, you're going to have plenty of time to talk. I had the pleasure of meeting Sean's mother and father. And I understand why Sean is the incredible fella he is. And I paid his mother and father the ultimate compliment. I said, I wish he was my son.
Oh,
I never had a son. I had
I
two
love you,
daughters.
Ron. You
But
know
had
that.
I had a son, no, Sean, I'm not lying. Had I had a son, I would have liked him to be you.
Oh,
Because
thank you. That's one of the nicest
you are
things
so,
anyone's ever said to me.
no, Sean is so well-mannered. He's not vulgar. He's not trashy like me. He's very, very sophisticated. He's very, very Pennsylvania. I'm very Brooklyn. Now we're going to ask questions.
Now I want to go. First of all, before we go into all the books and everything, so tell us this thing. So what's up? So everybody, in case you don't know, Sean Kanan plays Mike Barnes on Karate Kid 3. He's like the bad guy, and now he's Mike Barnes on Cobra Kai, which is last season. Last 6 episodes are getting ready to come out, and so now you've got Bad Boy Hot Sauce, which I don't eat hot sauce. It's not good for me, my stomach. But like, tell us, how did we? Because I love the graphic for it and everything is fabulous.
So it's called Bad Boy Hot Sauce because Mike Barnes is the bad boy of karate. I'm a foodie. So is Michelle. We are, and my first book was a cookbook. It was called The Modern Gentleman: Cooking and Entertaining with Sean Kanan, and I wanted to get into the food industry for a while, and this seemed like a good entry product. I love hot sauce. The hot sauce is absolutely delicious. People have reordered it 2 and 3 times all over the country, and we want to expand it. But and of course Michelle is doing it with me. But I really would like to do something in the vein of what Paul Newman did, which is he created Newman's Own, and it became just a huge mechanism for being able to be a force for good philanthropically. So I'm trying to build this brand with Michelle, and I think that philanthropy is going to be a huge part of what Bad Boy is all about, and you can get it at badboyeats.com.
Badboyeats.com, you guys.
You would make me very happy if you brought that camera in closer.
Oh, sure.
Here,
Because
I never met a close-up I didn't like, Ron.
There's too much going on with all the paintings. we need more of you.
There we go.
There you
There
go.
we go.
Now we
All
got
right.
you.
So you guys,
Perfect.
so
See,
you guys
I direct my
check
children.
out Bad Boy Hot Sauce, you guys, and you can also so then.
Oh wait, I have to talk.
Let me talk.
Enough about the hot
You
sauce.
have to
Burns
talk.
your asshole.
No, it's my turn. Just quiet.
The hot sauce will burn your asshole.
No.
Let's talk about Michelle and Sean's soap opera.
First, let's talk about the book, and then we'll go back to the soap
I
opera.
want to save the book because that's the highlight of
I
the
know,
show.
but that's what we're.
When I ask them if they bring tools into their bedroom.
No. All right. Let me brag about it first. Okay, you guys. So Sean has written, he has Way of the Cobra is a series, you guys. He wrote 2 books. The first one was called, I wrote it.
Well, there's 3 in the Way of the Cobra series, and then I had written 2 more prior to that. Wait.
We have the books. We bought them.
Yes.
We have them.
So you guys, so he's got Welcome to the Kumite is the second one. The first one was Way of the Cobra, right? It was just Way of the Cobra. Oh, he also has Success Factor X that I wrote the forward to, you guys, and went to number 1 on Amazon.
That's true.
And now, so Michelle then is brought in on this 3rd one, you guys, and it's called Way of the Cobra Couples.
Love
you guys
it.
can see it here.
Quick
You can
read.
go to wayofthecobra.com. Where else can they get? Is that where they get it?
On Amazon, and it's really the perfect book for Valentine's Day.
Yes.
It's not only for people that aren't familiar with it. COBRA is an acronym. It's formed from character, optimization, balance, respect, and abundance. The book is, if you're looking to turbocharge your relationship, this is the book for you. And if you're single and you're tired of, not finding the right person, this book is going to show you how to find the right person,
True.
I love it. So
I think what the book will do is that there's a lot of people out there who are stupid. No, really. Women that allow men to beat them or cheat on them or abuse them verbally. Right now on Facebook, there's gossip going on. A friend of mine, she left her partner because he said, "You're getting fat. You're not so pretty. You're a lousy actress." Yeah, she took this abuse for many years. She finally left, and I'm so happy she did because she's with somebody that worships and adores her. The same thing with Angie Stevenson. She was in a bad relationship years ago and another abusive verbally, and she left. So women today are saying, fuck you, I'm not taking your shit, I'm leaving. And that's where I like it, because women are no longer slaves to stupid, drunken men who think because they're weak and women, they could beat them up and hurt them. I think that's terrible. This book will help you out if you're in an abusive relationship. If you're in a relationship with a cheater, it'll also help you out how to deal with a cheater. So it's all the stupid things that we have every day in our life.
Let's let them tell us a little bit about it.
I'm going to, but I have to I'm setting it up.
I know, but you did enough setup
Want to hear
already.
abusive partner?
There's the doggy.
You want to hear abusive partner? Get ready.
So
Listen,
you guys,
listen, you stupid fuck. For 40 years, I've been doing this.
No, okay,
shit.
listen.
I know how to do it, you dumb, fat, ugly bastard.
So you guys listen, really. So first of all, you got The Way of the Cobra series has a tagline, Unleash Your Inner Badass, Conquering Your Greatest Opponent, You. The first two books were extremely successful. This one hasn't been out that long. It's also going to be successful. Why don't you guys, in your own words, tell us a little bit how you came up with doing
first
this?
question.
No, let them tell us about how they did it.
What?
Just listen. Let them talk for a
You
minute.
have to entice the audience.
There's
Then
the
you
audience
hit
is
them with
enticed.
the
Go,
blowing
Michelle.
shit.
Go, Michelle.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So I was voluntold that we're doing another book. And previously, the other books, Sean wrote them, I edited, and then I did all the putting it together and the graphics and the assembly and everything. So this time I was like, okay. And he said, no, but I want you to do the writing this time too with me. And we want to talk about, and I was like, okay, well, what's the topic? And he said couples. And I was thinking, okay. And he's like, everyone asks us, how do you guys stay together? How have you done this? How do you keep your relationship? Like you're always like holding hands and hugging, and like you always, you guys have issues, but you have overcome them. So we were like, let's just write it down. And, we came up with this idea, like let's brainstorm all the things that we do and the topics that we want to cover. And one of the big ones was, I'm not a mind reader. And so we took that really to heart and showed how we overcome that issue of, not being a mind reader. And it's all the tips and strategies are in the book. It's a lot about communication.
The first two books were very successful, and we would hear all the time from people all over the world that they took what was in the books, put it into action, and watched their lives change. And we said, well, why don't we take these strategies and the philosophy that's already working for people and show them how to apply it to their relationship. And when you talk about a relationship, of course, you have to have two different perspectives.
Right. And
that's what makes this book really interesting, because Michele has a voice in it, I have a voice, and then we talk together as a couple.
Yeah.
The font, tell them about the font thing.
Yeah, so we have we switched fonts. So when Sean's talking, it's in a box with a different font. Then when I'm talking, it's in a box with a different font. So like one of the things that we really had a difference opinion about is being slammed in the friend box. And we talked about like his strategy for not being, and for those of you who don't know, being slammed in the friend box is when you are romantically interested in somebody, but they say, oh no, you're just a really good friend, and I look at you as a friend. So how do you get out of that danger zone?
You don't get it in the first place. That's what you do.
Well,
Okay,
yeah.
I like that. Wait,
let's
I
get
like
the
that.
first question out there.
Okay.
Okay, if you catch your partner cheating, what do you do about it?
I don't know. Michele and I've always
Leave it
talked
in.
about that. If that happens, which it never has, thank God.
Yeah.
It's broken.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well, what would be
You know-
your advice to
well,
a
well,
person?
actually, let me take that, because I do say in the book, I say, look, here's the thing. You have to decide personally whether or not you can live with it and get over the cheating, or are you just going to have a slow death of attrition where you're torturing your partner as punishment? And if that's what it is, then leave immediately.
Yeah.
But if you think that you can actually get over it and work through it, everybody's relationship's different. We are no one to judge it.
Right.
But you have to ask yourself, it's what you can live with.
And once you commit to, we explain that there's a difference between choosing and deciding. Choosing means you can kind of go back and forth, but decide means you kill one of the sides. So either you accept it and you move on, or you don't.
I think it's also contingent though on a paradigm shift of the cheating partner that they are not going to do it anymore. I mean, you can't. It's not like you want to decide. Well, I can just stand the fact that my spouse cheats all the time.
No, but the reason that we say that is because if you say, okay, I'm gonna forgive you for this, you can't keep going like
back to
3 months down the road going, well, remember that time you cheated? Like you have
Right.
to really
either let it go.
I like that.
Otherwise, let your partner go because it's not fair to do both. You can't torture.
I think that would be something that actually happened, like not the cheating part, but I'm sure that both of you are extremely good looking. I'm sure, like, if you went to a place where people don't exactly know if you're married or not, I'm sure you guys get hit on. He gets hit on everywhere.
Oddly enough, I swear to God, I'm gonna tell you something. I almost never get hit on, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm not being facetious, because, and I talked about this at the book signing. Remember we talked about the law of vibration? I don't put a sexuality out there to other women that they pick up on it and say, oh, okay, I'm gonna build on that.
Right.
I'm respectful. I'm assertive in the way that I am in my normal life, but I don't assert my sexuality to anybody but my wife. And consequently, I don't have little entanglements and I don't have, little things that become problematic in the relationship.
And the thing is,
all you women out there who are having high hopes of balling Sean, you're shit out of luck.
Well, and the other thing is that, people they throw out a card. And they say something like, oh, well, and then it's up to you how you respond to it. So someone will say, oh, wow, you guys are, you're such a, whatever, you're so beautiful or whatever. And then you say, thank you, that's really kind. My husband thinks so too.
Yeah.
Yes.
It shuts
nipping it in the bud.
Yeah. Like, you're being kind.
I have people hit on me because we're very traveled, we're always at functions, and they don't know that I'm with him. So I tell them, I say, I'm with Jimmy, I'm married or whatever. And if they still persist, I say, get the fuck out of here.
That's not being respectful.
Because I have no patience for it.
Well, sure.
Next question. If you're in an abusive marriage, what should you do?
I mean,
verbal abuse. Verbally abusive marriage.
So it's a really tough situation to be in because, it doesn't happen overnight, and by the time you figure out that you're in this situation, your whole mindset is different. And, there's two things can be true at the same time. You can be in a verbally abusive marriage, but love the person that you're with and want to be with them. Oh. So you have to figure out if your partner is willing to see that there is an issue, number one, and if your partner is willing to listen, then you can go to counseling and you can change it. It's just a dynamic. The dynamic is, like, in order for somebody to be verbally abusive to you, you have to allow it.
Yeah.
So there are two sides to it.
That comes into boundaries.
And it, and I'm not saying that like people that are abused ask for it. I'm not saying that at all. It's just that the first time it happens, they don't say, whoa, time, like, this is it for me. This is not happening. This is a boundary. You can't do that. And when you don't do that, then you're, the next time it happens, you're allowing it. So you have to, and not everybody is strong enough to be able to say, whoa, this is not happening for me. And putting that boundary.
Okay, next question.
So it happens. So when that does happen and you find yourself in a place, and especially women, because we're taught to be, companions, we're taught to be amenable, we're taught to take things. And so after a while, it may be something like, oh, I don't like your clothes. And you're like, oh, okay, well, I probably don't dress well. And then it's like, I don't like your makeup. Well, I probably am not good at doing makeup. And then suddenly it's like, I don't like you and you're doing this and you're doing this. And then you just one day wake up and realize, wow, I'm in this really abusive relationship.
Be reversed though, because it can also be the guy who's abused.
Of course.
Jimmy abuses me all the time.
Of course.
He does. Jimmy abuses me. He tells me what to wear, when to get up, when to sit down, what to eat, get dressed, we're going. I don't even know where we go.
Yeah, I do tell him when to get up because I'm the one who makes all those appointments. Like I know where he has to be.
He runs my life, and I tell him, "You've taken away my youth because now you're making me feel like an old man that's not capable of."
Excuse me, Mr. Russell. Nobody can make you feel anything. You feel it on your own. So
no, I don't. I never feel old.
Yes,
I just said
you do. And you know what? Then I'm right now. I'm gonna make you not feel like an old man. I'm forcing you. You have to do it right now. I can't.
I don't. I don't feel old, and I don't feel unnecessary. I just did that to make the show juicy. But
exactly.
My next question.
No, wait. My turn.
Then you can have it. This is.
You say that I can have it. I won't get it.
See, abusive. This question is the question everyone out there wants the answer to.
No, they don't.
Okay.
If your mate and you have not had sex in 6 months, what do you do about that?
I think the first thing you do is you talk about it. You don't try and, you put the white elephant on the table, so to speak, and say, okay, why is this happening? Right. And maybe one of the spouses or partners says, I feel really bad about my body right now and I'm insecure. Or maybe 6 months is a long time. I mean, let's get no mistake about it. But it starts with having an open, authentic communication with each other and deciding, are we going to resolve this problem or is this the new reality that we're roommates?
Well, yeah, but I think from my perspective, it has to be a little more subtle than that. I don't think that if you're in a situation where you wake up one day and you're like, holy crap, it's been 6 months. And you go to your partner and be like, hey, Sean, we haven't had sex in 6 months.
No, I don't. That's not what I'm implying.
Like that's a really.
I'm giving you the bullet points. I'm not giving you the delivery.
Yes, and I'm giving you the delivery. And the delivery is that, maybe you make an advance towards your partner. And if the advance is rebuked, then you say, hey, I know right now it's not convenient, but can we put something on the books? And that's a nice subtle way to say, I'm interested and I want you. Do you still want me? Or is this something else going on? And then, you kind of take it from there and make it a little less pointed.
I'm gonna put something out there that I think probably applies to a lot of people. It certainly happened in my life. That we all live very busy, hectic lives that have been turbocharged by the internet.
Right.
Yes.
And I think people get tired. It's like I can't tell you how many times, Michelle and I are like, you know what? I love you. I want to do it. Let's watch Netflix.
Yeah.
And you have to not be lazy, but also you also have to give yourself self-care. And if you're feeling physically tired, you need to start doing something to reinvigorate your energy, whether it's taking a nap in the afternoon, going to the gym, eating better, smoking and drinking, whatever it is, stack the deck in your favor. Don't make it harder for yourself because life's hard enough.
And we say in the book, romance starts in the morning.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
So you can't at 6 o'clock come home you just walk in the door, throw your clothes down, throw your books down or whatever, your computer, and you're just like, okay, now let's do it.
Just because you're married doesn't mean that you don't still seduce your spouse. And what Michelle means is, during the day, I call Michelle, I text her, I stay connected with her. So, you know what I mean?
So does he. Jimmy's very aggressive, romantic. Oh yeah, very.
I put this weekend. I can't wait.
Like it.
A slingshot. I hate underwear. I talked to Sean about doing an underwear ad. We never did it.
I'm about 20 years past my underwear days.
No. It was a verbal. It wasn't you dress. It was you.
May I suggest something in your bedroom?
It was underwear with a hole in it.
What did he say? Say that again.
I said, for Ron, why don't you try a ball gag? That might be.
Oh, yeah.
No, it's these underwear that have a hole in it.
Still be talking.
Your penis
Ron
through the
would be
hole,
like,
so your testicles stay in the underwear and you don't perspire. And I thought that anyway. I bought a pair of a bunch of slingshot underwear, and he can't wait for me to put them on. I'm 84 years old. I mean, I wouldn't want to see an 84-year-old in these underwear. Trust me. Wait.
My turn,
one thing. This is not pertaining to you or any of us. I don't want people out there to think this is us, because it's not. But if the marriage is not exciting anymore, should we bring toys into it to make it a little more exciting?
I mean, well, there's a difference. There's a difference between saying the marriage isn't exciting, which is a systemic problem.
Yeah.
Saying your sex life needs like a little goose, a jumpstart, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
Hey, listen, whatever happens between two people in their bedroom, God bless. Go do what you want to do, as long as you're not hurting children or hurting anyone else or whatever.
And it's
do what you need to do, and it's consensual. But if your marriage is no longer exciting to you, and it doesn't need to be exciting because you're going on fancy trips or you're doing exciting stuff. I mean, Michele and I can literally be, at our place together, and I still feel the attraction and the magnetic pull to Michele that I did when we first started going out.
Yeah.
That's a function of having a vibrant marriage.
Yeah.
Okay. You got to get to the root problem of what's not working in the marriage, and don't think, sex can be a conduit to get you back in line, but you still need to figure out what the central issue is.
Yeah, but our book is not about finding out what's wrong in your marriage. Our book is about finding out what's right in your marriage and leaning into that, because there's a lot of things that are successful in a marriage, and when you start looking for things that are wrong, you're gonna find them. So
okay, but there are parts of the book that I wrote where I talk about issues that people have and relationships have.
Yeah.
And I do point out things that are pitfalls and traps and dangers and challenges, because it's important to talk about them.
Right. And I mean, like, the big thing is just, we say, when they say relationships are work, it's not like, hey, get out a shovel and like, let's do the work. Is that every day, every morning when you wake up, you show up. You're in that relationship, and like, that's your first priority of the day, not your email, not your social media, not your text messages. It's your relationship.
For me, I mean, one of the first things I do, the very first thing I ever do, and Michele can attest to this, is I get on my knees and I thank God, because I live in gratitude. That's the first thing I do before I weigh myself, before I mouthwash anything. And then I tend to get up earlier than Michele.
I've instituted that he has to.
And I have my coffee, and our days almost always begin with me bringing Michele coffee in bed and giving her a kiss and starting the trajectory of what our relationship for the day is going to be.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times I won't see her till the end of the day after I come back from filming, and I want her to know that we're connected.
Yeah.
Okay, so now it's my turn. Just be quiet. Okay, so first of all,
how about this?
No, stop. So we went to you guys' book signing Saturday. One of the takeaways is kind of like what we've been talking about. The whole book, everything in a relationship has to do with communication, and the whole thing is communication. And so basically, like, with the sex thing, with the cheating, with everything, it has to do with the communication. So I want to just read this one line and give people a little bit more insight into the book, you guys. Cobra couples pillars. A Cobra couple strikes with purpose, moves in precision, and weaves through life's challenges together, always ready to conquer the next battle side by side. And Cobra itself is an acronym, because I think people probably think you came up with that because of Cobra Kai. But this is really before Cobra Kai. So tell everybody, what do you know them by heart? The acronym for Cobra?
Of course I do. I invented them. Cobra's an acronym. It stands for character. Character is the most important thing in anything. Character. If you hear nothing else that I say today or in my books, character is everything. Optimization. It means making the best choice with the information you have at the time that it needs to be made. Okay? We don't always make the right choice. We make the best choice with what we have, and it means taking action, being decisive. Balance. what good is it if you make $1 million a year, but your relationships are withering on the vine because you don't attend to them? Conversely, you can have great relationships, but if you fail to establish yourself financially and professionally, it causes insecurity in your relationship. You got to have balance.
Yep.
Respect. I think we all know what that is. Respect for yourself, respect for your partner, respect for the earth, all sorts of stuff.
Respect for your time together.
And the last one is abundance. It's living in abundance, living in gratitude. I go back to the law of vibration. The universe matches what we put out. And when you live in abundance, the universe gives you more of it. When you live in I want, I need, I don't have, the universe, you're living in scarcity, and the universe gives you the exact damn thing you don't want.
Right.
So one of the things I really took away from Saturday, and this is something that Michele, talked about, how not every day are you in 100%, and like you can wake up and say I'm a 20% today. Explain that a little bit, because I think that would be the most helpful thing for everybody. That was like the most helpful thing I've ever heard.
Yeah, it's okay. So this is your day meter. Like, we put tools throughout the book, and this one's called the day meter. So the day meter says, it goes along that idea of I'm not a mind reader. So there's often times when, we as people, we get social cues from our facial features. So there's times that I'm just like this, and Sean will look at me and be like, what's wrong? And like, there's nothing wrong. It's like, I'm tired or something like that. So we just decided, instead of having our things, or I'll be snappy with him, and he's like, why are you snappy? What did I do? And it's like, it had nothing to do with him. So what we did is we said, look, let's just assign a number. Like, in the morning when you wake up, you're like, okay, I'm at 100%. I'm raring to go. I'm really excited. Everything's going to be great today. So he knows, like, throughout the day, it's going to be a great day. But if I wake up and I'm at 20% because I didn't sleep the night before because I had an international call, and like their day is my night, like, I'm sleepy. So half the day I'm going to be sleepy. So if I ignore him, or if
it lets me know that if she's a little short-tempered, or she's tired, or whatever, and I can pick up the slack, and she does the same for me.
Yeah, and so
I love that. I love that. I love that when you said it the other day in front of all the people. I thought it was fabulous.
Okay, I know where he's going with that bullshit.
What bullshit?
He has days where he's miserable.
No, I wasn't going to bring that up.
No, he's miserable because
everybody does.
No, a client drove him crazy, and he just tells me, I can't go with I can't talk 10 hours with each client because for what they pay.
You need to read the first book about thieves of time.
Yes,
and that comes into barriers. It comes into boundaries.
I'm very good about it. I never say anything more. I simply say it'll get better. Talk to the client. Tell them how much you love them. That'll get rid of them. I said, really, become more of a personality, which is advice. It's not abuse. And there are days when he comes. Jimmy, first of all, kisses me good morning every morning, and kisses me good night every night. This has been since day one of our relationship and marriage. We're very happy, by the way. We're like you. We're in a good marriage.
Good.
I wish I had a memory because I'm getting old, but I just forgot what I was going to say.
That's okay. I don't know.
Oh, about Jimmy in his bad mood. Then when he has a good day, he will come over and tell me, I have a good day today. It's been a good day. And there's such a personality difference. So shouldn't we all learn all the personalities of our mate?
Yes. But even before you do that, and this is something that is more in Way of the Cobra, you have to learn to not allow external events, occurrences, and people affect you to the point that it alters your meaningful happiness. I can have a really shitty day. I can, get rear-ended, deal with assholes, whatever, but it doesn't put me off the center of being a meaningfully happy person. And when I have a fantastic bonkers day, I enjoy it. I celebrate the win, but it doesn't make me go, to DEFCON 1 and become a maniac. Right. You stay the middle path. Yeah. And what it does is it keeps you from you can't be emotionally over affected, because the only thing we have control over is our emotional response to external stimuli. And if other people, by what they say and do, can so alter how you feel, then you become a very simple person to manipulate.
I'm gonna alter that just a little bit. We don't.
You're ruining my day.
Wait, smack the bitch around. Just smack the bitch. One
Don't
good
call me a
smack.
bitch.
Smack her right across her face.
No,
Boom.
go ahead. No, Michelle, go. I love it. That's so cute.
Wait a minute.
She's adding something. Go ahead.
We can't really control our emotional response because it comes from within, but we can interpret it and we can self-limit it. So because when you start controlling your emotions, you start to distance yourself from organic
when I say control emotions, let's say you get,
but you can control your response.
Let's say you get mad about something, and there's a difference between angry and mad. Mad is kind of a temporary response to something that happens. Angry is something that's at our core that you really got to work on. We all get pissed off, right? But if you just take a second and go, okay, I'm obviously in a state here, I'm pissed off. You take a couple deep breaths. You go meditate for 5 minutes. It will reboot you. Okay. And it's amazing how many times you're pissed off about you can't find your keys. You're late for an appointment. You've been looking for 45 minutes and you go and you meditate for a few minutes or even take a couple deep breaths and then you find them shortly thereafter.
Is that why you're like in the corner breathing so much?
It's because I'm afraid of you.
I literally will put a little thing on your feet.
I do get affected by business things. Like
affected. You know what? You said two things, mad and angry. Mad means out of your fucking mind. And he gets mad out of his mind because he will go on and on and on and on and about it for the whole day. I'm patient, but I'm Italian. When my temper goes, fuck all of you. I throw things, I scream, I yell, and I don't give a shit if he leaves me. If he turned around and said, I'm leaving you, I'd say, good. Go, I'll help you. Let me start your car.
Let me give you an example. You're walking down the street and some guy you don't know bumps into you and you're about to say, excuse me. And he says, why don't you watch where you're going, asshole? Now, if you infer from that event, oh my God, even perfect strangers think I'm an asshole. That's one thing. Or if you say, I don't know this guy. He has no effect on me that way. For all I know, he just lost his job. For all I know, he just lost his wife. For all I know, his boss is having an affair with his wife. It's their issue. It's not yours. And so when you think that way, and I'm not saying we don't get pissed off at things, but when you realize it has nothing to do with you most of the time, it alleviates the onus of having to have a huge emotional response.
Yeah,
I know. I love it.
I would say to him, you're cute. You want to have dinner tonight?
I do
and
that
if he's gay, he'll say yes. And if he's straight, we'll have a fist fight. And that's okay with me.
No. So, all right. So hold on. You guys, go ahead.
Okay. So on the whole mad, angry thing, yeah, that happens. But it's resentment really that is the killer. So resentment is
falls under angry.
Yeah, but resentment, it carries over. Yeah. It's I'm angry in the moment and you can be angry in the moment and that's fine, but then it resolves. But if you keep carrying it, I'm angry every day because of something that happened last year and I just keep carrying it, that's the toxic part of it. So for me, I have this little thing that I say, I try to be good, but he makes me do bad things. So when I get angry, I do some bad things. I will set the brightness on his phone down so he can't see it. And then he's like, my phone's broken. I don't know what's wrong. My phone's broken. And I'm just like,
I think a good fight once in a while
sure
is healthy. You know what? We must not mask our emotions. We are human beings and we have anger, we have love, we have laughter, we have hunger. And we've got to address all of these feelings that we have. If we hide them, we're going to suppress it and it's bad. I tell Jimmy all the time, fight with me. He doesn't fight with me.
I'm not really
I tell him, here's what I say to him. I hate your guts. I'm sorry I ever married you. I could have done it. No,
but
really.
that's
I don't know.
I'm using that as an example.
No, he doesn't.
Okay, but when
I don't say that. Wait, that's my next question. That falls under verbal abuse.
Okay,
what do you think you're gonna gain by verbal abuse? That's my question.
Nothing.
You gain nothing.
So here's the problem with verbal. Okay, so men are very much a slave to their word. You know, like if you meet a man and his word means nothing, like nobody really, you know, kind of interacts with him. So men are very protective. Women are as well, but not as much, because women are very like forgiving of each other and they're very accommodating. But men, like it's very ingrained. My word is my bond. And so when you get angry and you say something and it's horrendous, and then later on you go, oh, sorry, I didn't mean it. That it signals to your partner that you're a liar on some level, because you say things you don't mean and you set this pattern. I didn't really mean that. So in which case your partner is going to look at you low key as a liar. And so as things go on, you're going to have this dynamic where you kind of fight each other, because you're going to say, hey, I love you. And they're going to be like, mm-hmm.
That's a really good point.
Yeah,
you talk about in the book. How many times have you heard somebody say, I love you, and it sounds like you're dismissed?
Exactly.
Like, okay, love you.
Sounds like what?
Yeah.
It sounds like you're dismissed. This conversation's over.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know, I really love you. It's like, okay, love you, you know?
Yeah. And it's
crazy.
And so then you go
Wait,
from
can I tell a quick story?
It's got to be quick.
I was married to a woman for 14 years, a very beautiful woman. She was a high fashion model, Dutch, green-eyed blonde, gorgeous. We were married for 14 years. And in that marriage, she never once said anything to me that could help the marriage. She was very cold. She left the marriage and never saw her children for 35 years and then passed away. So it was not a good marriage by any means, especially with a gay man, where it's difficult enough for a gay man to be in a heterosexual relationship. It's an everyday challenge and a work job.
Yeah.
What do you think about communicating in a marriage? If the person that you're married to just shuts down, how do you open them up and get them started?
You have to figure out like what it is that they're shut down about. Are they shut down about you, or are they shut down about themselves? If they're shut down about you, then you need to pointedly say, I'm feeling that you're not really in this anymore and that you have these feelings, and that's okay. But I'm asking you at this point, I'm ready to give up. So do you want me to keep trying, or do you want me to give up? Because
and what if the person doesn't answer? What if the person
if they don't answer, then you say, you don't have to answer right now. Think about this, but I am putting a boundary for myself. And my boundary is I'm giving this marriage another month, another 6 months, whatever it is. And in that time, if things don't change, that will be your answer. So I don't want to put you on a spot, but here's my boundary, because I need to communicate. I need to feel connected to you, and I feel like I've lost you. And if you take it and you make I statements, I feel like I've lost you, then
I found out finally why. She left because she didn't want to be a housewife, a mother, or a wife. She wanted her career. And she went off to becoming quite successful in her career, making a lot of money and dating around. So she just didn't. Oh, that's a good question.
No more questions.
No, I want to follow up.
No.
Oh, please, Jimmy, this is important.
Listen, we have to go. They have to go.
Oh, they can't go.
They have to go.
They can't go.
No, they have to go. So I have to wrap this up. So first of all, you guys,
we do.
Check out,
I know.
You guys get Way of the Cobra couples, you guys, and also go to wayofthecobra.com. Get the first book, the second book. Get this book. Also, you guys, Google Sean Kanan on YouTube TED Talk. He did a 15-minute TED Talk. It's a very prestigious thing to be able to get to do that. Congratulations. It is an amazing talk that ties in all of his books. So please, we want the thing to get 100 million views. And we want everybody to check it out. So please Google Sean Kanan TED Talk. It's really, really good, too. I've seen it twice, so I've got 2 of the views that are on there.
If you feel this show is interesting, then get the book. Because the book is just as interesting as what we talked about.
Please get it.
And if you have questions, send them to our DMs on Instagram. We answer our Instagrams. And we also, on our website, we also offer coaching. So if you have something you wanna discuss, we're happy to do it.
Yep, you can pick up the book on Amazon. And you guys, we love you both, and we're gonna
get together. We love you too, but we have a problem with you. Can we discuss it? We
No,
never
we
get
gotta go.
we never get to see you
We're just
anymore.
I know.
No, other than Saturday. We need to go out one night.
Absolutely.
Okay.
And I actually know a restaurant I'm going to take you guys to. A new one.
All right, you guys, thank you so much. Congratulations and good luck with everything.
Happy Valentine's Day.
Happy
Love you.
Valentine's
Happy Valentine's
Day.
Day, everyone.
Bye.